Ladies and gentlemen, I want to play a very serious clip here, and I want you guys to listen to it to the end, and then I'll do a reaction on that.
Na ulisema kwamba kumtoa rais itakuwa vigumu.
Si ngumu. Ngumu sana. Sisi ni team two term. Bas. Two term.
Uko na hakika atapita kweli?
Atapita sana. Leo ni tarehe ngapi?
Leo ni tarehe
8 mwezi wa
8.
Bas, 8. Niulize mambo ya mwezi wa 8, tarehe 8 tutakuwa hapa kama William Ruto ni rais. Ndio, kwa sababu ya kazi anafanya. Wananchi wanaona kazi anafanya. William Ruto has turned the whole country into a construction site. Talanta inaendelea. Ile barabara ya Elwak Modogashe inaendelea. Hapa affordable housing zinaendelea. Stadiums zinaendelea. Barabara zinaendelea. Yani, there's no one who's ever done work like William.
When you listen to that gentleman, I've been following him. He's a very staunch supporter of President William Ruto. Now, he has made very valid points there. I want to take this opportunity to ask you one simple question before I proceed. What do you think will make you go to the ballot very early in the morning, queue, and then cast your vote against President William Ruto's presidency? I mean, in simple terms, why will you deny William Ruto the second chance in 2027? Please, on the comment section, share with me. On this particular video, I want to give an answer to that gentleman on why people want William Ruto out in 2027, or even before if they had the ability. That's going to form the basis of this analysis here. But before I take you through, if this is the first time you're watching my videos, take a second or two to subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Without much wasting of time, allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to dive into this particular video. But my number is always here. Feel free to share with me. For those who want to support the channel, feel free. That is the M-Pesa number. Let me dive into this topic.
Look at a mad president. Ruto, listen to yourself when you are telling the police to shoot the youth kwa miguu. Listen to yourself as the president of this country. Ukisema ashutiwe, apelekwe hospitali, akiendanga kotini. Look at a mad president.
Number one thing that is going to take William Ruto home, it's the extrajudicial killings that has become very common in his regime. It started from Rex Masai. All through, in all demonstrations, people have been killed. It could be the mistake of the police officers. But the motivation William Ruto is giving them, by saying the police officers did their best, it is what Kenyans hate most. The carelessness that William Ruto has portrayed in this kind of a scenario, to an extent where someone has been killed, you come out and say, now shoot them in the legs, don't shoot their heads, don't kill them. That shows there were instructions they were given. First. Second, shooting is not slapping. Third, it was not the thing to say when people are mourning, when Kenyans are crying, when youths are saying, we've lost some of us. It wasn't the statement the president was supposed to make. It takes me back to 2024, June 2025. It takes me back to 2024, June 25th. Where William Ruto, after people have been killed on the floor of Parliament, especially along the Parliament Road, brains all over, then some destruction occurred in Parliament. William Ruto saw the destruction of the Parliament side, but he did not see the killing of Kenyans. He came out and said, those criminals. How did the youth of this country feel? We do have someone who cares about our lives. In such a scenario, when you connect it to what William Ruto referred to as shooting in the legs, you're able to tell who is William Ruto. That conclusion that you've made, that kind of a picture you have about him, it is what is taking Kenyans to the ballot to vote against President William Ruto. Number 2, abductions. Most of us, young Kenyans, we've been reading in the books that during Moi's time and Kenyatta, people used to be abducted, more especially during Moi's time. Abducted, taken to Nyawe, torture chambers. That's what they used to call them. Then I asked myself, these things, we were getting them in the books. Then William Ruto, in his regime, people were being abducted on broad daylight. Alfred Keter, with his family from church, in front of his kids screaming, he was pulled out of his car, put in another one by civilian police officers, taken for days without knowing. No one knew where he was. And a broad daylight abduction. A broad daylight abduction. Billy Mwangi was picked up when he was going to Kinyozi, taken for days. An abduction. Popularized across the country. People knowing that Billy Mwangi, a 21-year-old Gen Z, has been abducted. Nicholas Muteti, something like that. Or maybe someone, Muteti, was taken from an M-Pesa shop, dragged by some people to a white pro box. That's like that. People could see this on clips. In mainstream medias, international medias, people could see abductions taking place. That picture that William Ruto with his regime now through the abduction, they created in Kenya's minds. It is what is taking people at the ballot to vote against him. One of the major things that William Ruto promised the people of Kenya, it's the cheap fertilizer. Ladies and gentlemen, about 50,000 bags allegedly were sold to Kenyans at 2,500. But upon opening these bags of fertilizer, it was fake cement that is colored. It spread across like fire. No apology. So far, no prosecution. It might not have happened again. But for those that it happened to, they never forget that. Hence, meet them at the ballot. Another thing, ladies and gentlemen, it is commercialization of events. Listen to this.
Wakenya, nataka mshikanishe hii mambo na mshikanishe vizuri. Go to today's Daily Nation, page 7. Utaona picha ya Kimani Ichung'wah. A legislature eyes housing boom with shares in mortgage firm. Kimani Ichung'wah amenunua shares moja 18 million, over 18 million, 900 and something shares, worth around 138 million. Watu wanaweza sema, wewe uko na wivu. Kwa nini unashangaa akinunua shares? Mimi sina wivu. I want you Kenyans to connect some dots that is going on. Housing finance, it's a government parastatal. Housing finance ndio imekuwa mandated that hizi all other parastatals zenye zitauzwa through the housing finance. Now housing finance, Ichung'wah is buying like entirely all the shares. Sijui kama mnashikanisha hii mambo. Number 2, serikali inajenga kitu inaitwa affordable housing. Affordable housing zinastahili ziuzwe through the housing finance. Na Kimani Ichung'wah is buying over 18 million shares of the housing finance. Wakenya msiposhikanisha what is going on in this country, I'm telling you this country will not stand even a day. He's not just buying the shares in the housing finance. The web ya kununua all the other parastatals, the web ya control all the affordable housing zinajengwa imelala hapo. And the guy is buying all those shares. na usidhani maybe anafanya hivyo peke yake. Go and read that paper and then try to connect all the dots. That's why we came with this wembe, so that we can be able to be connecting on behalf of Kenyans what is going in this country. Hata ukisikia tunaongea na we will be having days tunaongea na Kiswahili so that you can understand these things. My friend, this country yani mature dealers and everything is going down. You can take that to the bank.
That is a connection in relation to the housing levy, where allegedly Kimani Ichung'wah is now going to buy shares so that he can directly benefit allegedly from what is happening in the housing project. Such a kind of a commercialization of projects in the country, it ends up troubling Kenyans. In that Kenyans to pay for housing levy to go and construct houses. Instead of the houses being given for free, they are sold. Instead of the money benefiting Kenyans, it's benefiting Kimani Ichung'wah, allegedly, the way it was said there in that clip. That is what will take Kenyans to the ballot to vote against President William Ruto. And most of you here can think Kenyans are not aware. Oh God, go to the villages, ask them about Ruto. They'll tell you about ushuru, abductions, extrajudicial killings, fake fertilizer. Ladies and gentlemen, taxation has been introduced across. Middle class people are complaining. I was giving an example before of a teacher who has been just employed, maybe 2 years in office, in service. Then this teacher goes and gets a loan of about 2 million to get a piece of land back in the interior in Kisii, construct a house, a simple one, and the remaining probably take the kids to school. The gentleman or the woman starts paying back the loan. And I guarantee you, it's not a cheap amount that he's paying every month in form of a loan that he borrowed to develop himself. Then this person elects William Ruto into power with a bottom-up economic model in mind, so that this teacher can have more opportunities to make more money so that he can easily pay the loan. But now, William Ruto comes and tells this teacher, no, the house you just built, put it aside first. Now, you have to pay some more money for us to go and construct a house elsewhere. And that house, you're going to own it. Then they changed tune, it's now going to be a saving. At some point, it now became officially a tax. Ladies and gentlemen, as we speak today, this teacher who is paying for a loan that he built his house with, and the same teacher paying for housing levy. What do you expect that teacher to think of when he's at the ballot to make a choice? Ladies and gentlemen, despite that Raila Amolo Odinga is now eating with government, and that we've not gotten so much exposure towards what we call, ladies and gentlemen, that corruption cases in government, the fact remains that people can feel the way money is disappearing in this corruption. From the extravagance we are seeing in the leaders across the country, people can tell there's a lot of corruption. And to make matters worse, these things are being done on broad daylight. I was doing a video certain times back. There was a marathon that was being done at certain place within Nandi, if not Nandi, Elgeyo Marakwet. And in this marathon, the person who organized it was Faruq Bet. The chief guest, it was the deputy president then, who just actually got selected into office, Kithure Kindiki. At the parking area, there were choppers not less than 5. And one chopper in the entire day, it's probably 1 million because it's 100,000 per hour. Now, if it goes for, and actually some said even some it's 300,000 per hour. If the chopper goes to such a function, it's parked somewhere for 5-6 hours. Imagine how much money was paid for those choppers. Now, when I looked at the people, the athletes, the maximum person, the highest person, the person who was given the highest amount of reward, it was 15,000. I wish they could have come with by vehicle, by road, early enough, and at least convert the amount of the choppers to the common manage. Because that money could have circulated within that region, and eventually it could have helped. So the extravagance within the politicians raises eyebrows, which makes it difficult for someone to vote for President William Ruto at the ballot. I don't know what's your take about the comment section. Feel free to share with me. See you next time for more videos.